The content areas of science and history social science can be especially challenging for English learners for a variety of reasons. These include the content-specific terms, academic vocabulary, and the amount of language, both spoken and written, that is often used during instruction. Each EEI unit includes a reference page for English language development. This page highlights general instructional practices from the California Reading Language Arts Framework and specific research-based strategies that have been built into the EEI curriculum. At the bottom of the page, you'll see a table identifying language arts skills used in each lesson of the unit. For example, if students work on vocabulary during Lesson 2, the box labeled V will be checked. Refer to this chart before planning your instruction to get a general sense of the language skills your students will be practicing throughout the unit. There are a variety of ways to support your English learners during the individual lesson activities. The EEI materials themselves contain rich graphic images which help English learners connect with the content. The lesson procedures contain opportunities for students to listen, speak, read, and write, the very skills they need to engage in to continue their language development. The California Connection stories engage English learners by connecting real-life examples, building reading comprehension into the content area. In the primary grades, the EEI word wall cards are a great resource for teaching difficult vocabulary prior to and during a lesson. The visuals on these cards help English learners learn the words themselves. Try posting them in your classroom so students always have them as a reference, and that will allow them to feel comfortable engaging in the lesson activities without being slowed down by new or difficult vocabulary. To develop listening and speaking skills, the lesson procedures provide sample questions to ask your students. To support your English learners, create situations that allow students to speak both formally and informally. It's helpful to have them discuss the questions in pairs and work in small groups before responding orally to the class. And in units that include them, you can use activities like debates, role-playing, and presentations to further develop your English learners' speaking skills. Try thinking about your individual students and their language levels when planning these types of activities to provide scaffolding along the way that will allow them to be successful. You'll see graphic organizers throughout the EEI curriculum. These are especially helpful for English learners to organize their thoughts while reading and support the development of their writing. The graphic organizers provide a visual framework for sorting and categorizing information, and they give students a chance to process the content prior to applying it. Always keep in mind that you know your students best, and the curriculum is adaptable. So as you plan your instruction for each unit and lesson, consider your individual English learners and think about the support they need to be able to access the content, accomplish the learning objectives, and further their language development.